Hi everyone, welcome to today's session. Today we're going to spend some time talking about the top trends in beauty and personal care market in China. My name is Yang and I am the Insight Manager for Health and Beauty in Asia from Euromonitor International. So today we will first overview the China beauty and personal care market from a top-down view, and then we want to delve into four promising future trends we are seeing in the market that will reshape the market in the future, which include the flourishing of local C-beauty brands in this competitive market and Chinese consumers' focus from the ingredient upgrading now to the mechanism, and also the evolving consumers' perceptions and product expansions towards the holistic health and wellness concept. Last but not the least, the self-oriented consumption of the younger Gen Z consumers in China. So China last year experienced market downsizing due to the zero COVID policy, as most of the cities in China experienced a lockdown. People could not go outside or consume any shoppings or outdoor activities. And the lifting of zero COVID policy in this year and the reopening will benefit the critical drivers of Chinese beauty and personal care market. And consumers' confidence is expected to recover, but the speed is limited because of the long-term slowdown of China's economy. In this year, China's BPC market size is forecasted to be over 80 billion US dollars, where the skincare and color cosmetics as the top subcategories. For 2022 to 2027, China's beauty and personal care market will keep stretching with a CAGR of 6.5% in the forecast period. So let's break it down by price point and look at it in more detail of premium and mass product segment. So overall, the higher priced premium product have a stronger customer base and are relative more resilient than the lower priced mass product. And as the market recovers this year, premium products are expected to rebound more strongly with an 11% year-on-year growth rate. With the consumer's demand on beauty products being upgraded to the next level, meaning that more consumers now jump to purchase the premium products. The market is only going to be more polarized as the premium and mass segments to become more and more distinct. Premium and luxury brands are trying to increase the basket size further with the bundle sales. And the market for mass segment is kind of already saturated, with the growth in the past 3 years less than 2%, because the mass market size is not getting bigger further. Mass priced brands are trying to increase the customer loyalty by launching new products in a faster manner, and also offering more options like different shades. And by the end of this year, in color cosmetics, premium market size is expected to grow over the mass segment. And if we draw a market pyramid here, at the top, the premium market is dominated by the global brand groups such as L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, and other international groups. And at the bottom, in the lower end, which are some no-name products sold in the lower tier cities, where the quality of the product itself is still a concern. So what's left? The the remaining part is in the middle, the masstige to the prestige. So the local Chinese brand and so-called C-beauty brands are expanding. Here, Korean brands or some Japanese brands were once actually dominating the market to a certain extent. But for the various reasons, now the Korean brands' market share dropped. And recently, the C-beauty brands have been trying to upgrade their brand identity and jump to the higher end market. And if we look at the market from another angle, for the subcategories angle, the larger subcategories like skincare and color cosmetics will still grow at an annual rate around 5% to 6% over the next 3 years. And one of the categories that we are very optimistic about in China will be the fragrances. Compared with other developed markets in Asia, Chinese consumers' per capita spending on fragrance is still low, but the potential is huge because more middle-class consumers, especially the young middle-class consumers, want to express their quality of life, want to upgrade their experience in daily life and daily routine through the use of fragrance products. So for the future 5 years till 2027, the CAGR of fragrance in China, the market size is expected to grow at 40%. And most of it will come from the premium segment. And the category that expected to grow in the highest speed will be the unisex fragrance, followed by the women's fragrance, and even the men's fragrance will grow at a CAGR of roughly 11% from our forecast. Talking more about the fragrance, you may heard of the word C-beauty. It means the local Chinese beauty brands, and we will also mention the C-beauty in later pages. So now not only the C-beauty, the C-scent is coming, and meanwhile this potential sector will see more C brands emerging. And Chinese young growing number of middle-class consumers now need a rich expression of their sophisticated lifestyle. Newly found niche Chinese fragrance brand added to the diversity of the market, especially brands such as Documents and Two Summer, which have combined their brand stories with Chinese traditional heritage and resonate with young consumers as the China scent. So these brands create offline experience stores like art spaces. These are the key focus in both brands' operation. The location of the store and the decoration of each shop resonate the cultural symbols of the city where it is located, and the artistic, authentic, and emotional enjoyment embodied through the space, products, and the brand story is the core strategy of the C-scent brand to capture the loyal middle-class consumer base. After looking at the top-down view of the market, I would like to introduce you the top trends that we defined that will play important roles in the high-growth China beauty market. And this will be the main body of today's presentation, and we will discuss these 4 trends one by one. First is about the flourishing of local C-beauty brands. So C-beauty brands have largely emerged in China's beauty market since 2017 among all subcategories, particularly in skincare and color cosmetics, which international brands once dominated. In addition, the brands with significant growth during the past 5 years, such as here Winona, Flourishing, and Proya, all of them achieved double-digit compounded growth rate, and all of them invested heavily in the e-commerce. So with their in-house built digital team and digital channel strategies, these brands successfully seize the opportunities of rising e-commerce penetration of beauty products during the pandemic in China. C-beauty brands capture the market quickly with the hero product strategy, and these strategies allows them to centralizing the resources to promote the hero product as the foundation of the brand. And this strategy also made the brand first occupy one category's leading position and then spread the reputation from hero SKU to the brand. For example, hero products like anti-sensitive cream of Winona, the retinol serum of Proya, and the loose powder of Flourishing, as I listed here, helped the brands to be recognized by consumers and win the trust. We summarized here as the three key capabilities, like the three secrets why these C-beauty brands could win Chinese consumers. These include the product quality improvement and scientific communications in the marketing activities. Secondly, quick product launch and proactive consumer feedbacks incorporation into their product development. And lastly, the digital engagement and distribution strategies. First, about the product quality. So in the past, consumer perceived C-beauty or Chinese beauty product as the cheaper substitute, or in another word, dupe for international brands. But in recent 5 years, C-beauty companies are trying hard to change this perception. So the skincare brand Winona teamed up with the reputable dermatologist and used unique botanical ingredients to develop their their innovative formulas for sensitive skin. Since 2019, Winona invites dermatologists in China and also globally to hold the Sensitive Skin Summit annually to share the result of research on the sensitive skincare. I think it is not an overstatement to say that Winona opened a new era of sensitive skincare in China. And during the early stages, some Chinese beauty brands, they imitated the formulas from international brands and also used this as a marketing term to persuade consumers to buy their products. However, this imitation approach proved to be an unsustainable growth strategy. So nowadays, C-beauty brands have evolved and shifted their focus towards creating the innovative and patented ingredient, which has gained the consumer's trust. So traditional Chinese botanical extracts become a very prominent direction for the innovation. So terms like Chinese ingredient or independent R&D have now become the central branding keywords. C-beauty brands are publishing the academic papers internationally about their ingredients and using this as a scientific basis when doing the marketing activities. And also C-beauty brands stimulate users' demand with rapidly recurring new product launches. Usually for C-beauty brands, it takes 7 to 18 months for new product launching, which is relatively faster than the industry average of 1 to 2 years. And during the new product development, some C-beauty brands use the social media accounts as a channel to communicate closer with the consumers and get feedbacks very quickly. So traditionally, before launch tests are conducted mainly for safety or efficacy evaluations, and the number of testers is usually less than 15 due to the high recruitment cost. But C-beauty brands use a different way to collect the consumer feedbacks during the product development. For example, the brand called Flower Nose actually disclosed their new product trailer and the process of development in its social media account to engage with the consumers. They were sharing the design of the new packaging, the concept of the new product line in their Red account, asking consumers' opinions, so that consumers who are following the accounts will have a feeling of participating or co-create the product with the brand. The last part is quite obvious about digital capabilities of C-beauty brands. So because of these new C-beauty brands are digital native, so once they meet the digital native consumers in China, this will maximize their growth. Unlike some traditional brands that used to reach consumers through the store-based retail channels, new C-beauty brands use digital platform as the main stage to attract young consumers with the growing purchasing power. The e-commerce penetration rate of beauty and personal care market in China was 43% last year, and e-commerce now as a channel for both marketing and sales now plays a decisive role for new C-beauty brands. According to our consumer survey, that 67% of Chinese consumers, they purchased a product using live stream or live selling channel, and over 50% of millennial consumers purchased beauty and personal care product using the live stream service. A large part of the sales of C-beauty brands are generated by the live commerce of top influencers, especially during the Double 11 on Tmall or other shopping seasons. And next trend I want to talk about is the consumer's focus from ingredient-led beauty to now upgrading to the focus on the mechanism of the ingredient and product. So consumers' knowledge and standard of skincare is advancing in China. Now, consumers in China are more knowledgeable about ingredient, the percentages, concentration, and formulas, and they prefer the scientifically validated result. So if we want to draw an involvement of knowledge level of Chinese beauty consumers, there are 3 stages. Before, consumers only care about the efficacy, and then we have the consumers have some knowledges about the ingredient. All the products in the market are competing each other about the concentration percentage of the certain ingredient. Claims are talking about the ingredient rather than the efficacy, because the link between the certain ingredient to its efficacy now become a common sense for beauty consumers. Moving forward, we see a trend here in China that now only the ingredient names are not enough. Beauty consumers are keen to understand the mechanism behind the ingredient. What's the formula? What's the methodology of your ingredient to improve my skin? And also the pathway of the mechanism, and also the lab results that scientifically prove the efficacy is also important for the consumer, for them to compare and find the best value for money product. So always this kind of scientific communication are happening in skincare product, and for color cosmetic it was not a common thing. But here a case I want to give here is showing that how can you do the scientific communication for color cosmetic like makeup foundation. The brand I want to introduce is called Blank Me. It is founded since 2016, and it is a base makeup brand. The price range is around $13 to $50. And their slogan, this brand's slogan, is that the effectiveness, the functionality of foundation can also be calculated, can also be quantified. So they innovate their product concept as the optical foundation. They invest the basic research in foundation science and also established the first optical skin research system. In 2021, the brand sales increased around 400% year on year, and making it the fastest growing new C-beauty brands according to the brand's data. So how, like for foundation functionalities, usually product will describe like glowing, like other words like transparent, radiance. These are the subjective descriptions. But how do you measure the glowing? How do you measure the transparent? So Blank Me invented a way to translate these subjective descriptions to the calculable, to the quantitative optical data on the skin, like the rate of light transmission and the rate of light reflectance when you apply foundation or not. So this kind of data was used to do an assessment of individual skin textures difference, and also this data were applied to during the product development for the skin correction principles. The third trend I want to talk about is the holistic health and wellness expansions, both in the consumer's perception and also in the product development. So the emphasis on ingredients has also extended to the categories beyond the facial skincare. This trend is driven by the consumer's deep understanding and preference for effective ingredients. In China, the concept of ingredient-led skincare has spread to body care, lip products, and also the hair care. So here I listed up some Chinese brands and products shown here have incorporated the facial care concept to body care or lip care. Also, the wellness space's boundary is becoming blurry. It is manifesting in that the two-way expansion of beauty and players in the surrounding categories. Many beauty companies now are launching the products like supplements or even food and drinks that claims to have to boost your skin. For example, Shiseido, as a well-known skincare brand, they launched the probiotic powder in their autoimmune product line and marketing it as editable serum for skin barrier repairing from the inside. And another beauty company in China called Blue Mage Biotech, they are a leading cosmetic raw material supplier. They are also launching the product like food and drinks and jellies, utilizing its established supply chain of hyaluronic acid. These products claimed to have hyaluronic acid added in their product. The last trend I want to talk about is about the young generations, the Gen Z generations in China. The rise of individualism value of young generations in China now is reshaping the consumption market. The involvement of their value and their social beliefs will influence the purchase decisions on the beauty products also. So for some brands in China, embedding the social values to the communication strategy helped them to do a brand image transformation. The beauty perception of Chinese consumers is constantly evolving, and in recent years it has been shifting towards embracing yourself and inner confidence, especially for Gen Z. According to our consumer survey on beauty, that for Generation Z consumers, inner confidence, looking your best, and being comfortable in your own skin are now the top 3 definitions of beauty among these consumers. Also, the social value of a brand are becoming more and more important in Chinese consumers' mind. According to our survey, that 32% of the consumers buy from brands that take support in the social issues that are aligned with their values. Here, I want to give the example of Proya. The company Proya has been promoting the gender equality by making brand films addressing the girl power for over past 3 years, since 2020, successfully transferring the brand image among young consumers. And if we look at the brand usage survey chart on the bottom, the brand usage of Proya among Gen Z increased from 7% to 50% between 2019 to 2022. And Proya was actually a very old brand that existing in the market for past 20 years. And I have the image that my mom will use that, but now most of its consumers are actually 20 to 30s, and also include the university students. So, what are some social values that are recognized by Chinese consumers, especially the younger generations now? Social values like national identity, inclusivity, beauty, and also gender equality are some values that Chinese Gen Z sees very important in the beauty products. We think that in a long term, it will become a must for a brand to provide in like this kind of social value or emotional value that allows consumers to express their identities through purchasing. Because in China now, the number of Gen Zs who consider purchasing a product based on the social value, the political beliefs now become number is climbing. And also from another direction that for this year, 22% of Gen Z in China will boycott, means that they refuse to buy from the brands or companies that don't share the social or political beliefs they have. The market size in China beauty and personal care market are forecasted to grow to 96 billion US dollars till 2027. And actually, my closing thought would be that I believe you sit in here today because you are interested in entering the market, and the beauty industry here in China continues to evolve and will be driven by the innovation, by the new regulation, and the developing consumer demand. So if you want to differentiate your brands from competitors or to achieve a long-term growth, I believe adding one or more of these 4 elements can help you to build a stronger identity of your brand in the mind of Chinese consumers. And I hope our findings provide you a comprehensive and clear perspective for your beauty business. And if you have interest to further explore the market insights with us, you can scan the code here and add our WeChat channel or check our website just as euromonitor.com. Thank you very much.